attacks.
Absolutely, and for now it's got to take place on Skyscraper. Fury will start on the attacking side. It was their map pick, and Knights opted to start on the defense. No surprises at all for a map like Skyscraper. Bans, first and foremost, to get through. We've seen a fair amount of Solus in that last game. Thought we may see a ban for that coming out. We may yet still. But Monty, first and foremost, taken away by Knights.
Yeah, I think Knights need a 4-2 here, to be honest. Fury did play in behind the Monty last time, so I think Knights are leaning into that. They know that sort of top of Black Stairs area, trying to push into meeting. That can always be a difficult place to hold on to if you've got a Monty moving in. So I think that's probably quite a smart ban there. We're going to have Ying going as well. That's going to be Fury's choice. And then we'll move on to our defenders, I would imagine. So
see if Fenrir Valkyrie maybe. Seems to have kind of been the go-to. Ying, obviously we saw it allowed through in the last map as well, but I've seen it banned a good few times today too. You know, just one of those operators that you just do not want to be dealing with. It's going to be a bandit ban coming out from Knights. That is an interesting one. I imagine that's more to make sure things like the single VIP wall can be opened up, that the external facing walls can stay closed inside of Geisha, for example, inside of Extradition office side. All these different things that weigh into it, and in fact, that's exactly what we're going to start things off with. It's going to be Office and Exhibition in that first round without the Bandit on side. You do, of course, still have the Kaid available, but it just makes tricking that much harder because Bandit a little bit quicker and has far more gadgets to play with.
Yeah, like you say, just that bit more difficult. I think the difficulty that comes in when you're playing against the Kaid is finding exactly where those claws are, because obviously a lot more flexibility. Bandit, the batteries have got to be placed directly against the wall, whereas the electric claws can be placed underneath, they can be placed off to one side, they can be in a different room. So you've kind of got to identify exactly where they are before you come in and start throwing things like EMP grenades, whether they don't have Thatcher on side, obviously, but you know, if they have any impact EMPs that they can come in and use, anything like that, you need to be identifying where they are so that you can locate them, especially with those impact EMPs, because the radius is much smaller.
10 seconds to go.
In we go. On the defensive side then, Solus, unsurprisingly, in the hands of Tom.
5 seconds to go.
That name is just forever going to be embedded in my memory. It's a bit of a nightmare because he was a terror on that previous map. Didn't matter what he was playing. If it was a shotgun operator, he was jumping out and going for long-range shotgun shots. If he was on the Solus, he was running out of jail. If he was on the Pulse, he was feeding information around to his team and often running into the end of a barrel, but it is what it is. Either way, a little bit of a nuisance and not at all surprised to see him back on that operator, and that Fenrir, now that it's not banned, is here alive and well.
Yeah, no surprise to see Fenrir in here. Really good, especially when you look at this top floor. So there's 2 points. There's one that goes from sort of, there's a door through from sort of Dragon and Shrine area that moves through over towards T. Thank you very much, just where Fenrir is now. And then down at the bottom, you've got the drum from Terrace door. So those 2 doors, you can kind of cut them off. If you play your Fenrir gadgets, you can do the same thing with Banshees from Malusi as well. If you play one on either door, it means you've basically cut off half of the map. The defenders can hold on, and they know whether the attackers are pushing on the top floor from that side just by putting those gadgets on those 2 doors. So they can be extremely valuable in those sorts of areas. I'm not sure if that's where Tuka has played them or not, but there's a number of other places that you can do that with on Skyscraper as well. So it just gives you this really good early warning system as to where the push is coming from.
Listen, Tom, I told you the man wants to be a little rat, but it feels like Fury is starting to catch on to him. A few rat traps being laid out and snapped shut onto Tom as he tries to make something magical happen. Still good opening kill to come through. Lycolis now looking for one at long range, but gets found out by Garadeus. Off towards the long side on that Azami. We'll find one back, 4 and 4.
Yeah, I think Lycolis just getting a little bit overexcited there, looking for one of those, you know, pixel-perfect headshots from across the map. Doesn't find it. It's 4-4. Not the end of the world. You've taken out the Solus. That's always going to be a big loss for the defenders. I9 manages to get in and find a nice nade onto Tuka as well. That's going to be the Fenrir down, so they're stuck with any dread mines activated as they are. There's going to be no change in those things over. Crit J nearly has an opportunity into Drum as well. Atlas.
Oh,
no, he's going to get himself a freebie, but they know where he is now.
I mean, he got caught under the KB and he was already sat there like, someone's going to push me. Someone has to push me. Then he goes charging as a 1-speed and he's got away with not quite 2 kills. Juice back up, Dark is back on side here, but a lot of damage being done, and that would have been potentially one of those big misslips. The kind of thing that was costing Fury against G2 earlier, just not being thorough enough in their drone game. I know it's hard against the Solus, but That almost caught them off guard.
I actually love that from Atlas. I kind of feel bad for him that didn't work out. I love it when players react to something like a flashbang coming in. He's got the shotgun, so I'm just going to step out and I'm going to take this engagement here. BLK has done a great job from inside the side, leaving it effectively 1 versus 2 now. Dark's only got 20 health as well. Ooh, the challenge comes in. It's BLK with a triple to close out the round, and in honesty, Knights had little right winning that round. Fury were on top for most of it, but they've just given away a little bit of ground there. I think Atlas down in Dark on that attack was just that turning point. Yes, and I managed to get the kill onto him and managed to get Dark back on his feet, but it just sort of left them shook a little bit, and BLK picks up a couple of long-range efforts that really turn things on its head. But yeah, for me, Atlas, that flash comes in. He's got 2 choices. You get full white flashed and you stand there and wait to be killed, or you come out swinging. You've got your back to the wall. That's exactly what he does. Pumps that shotgun. He knows he's got the advantage at such a short range, encounter like that. Absolutely brilliant from him, really. And he was just unfortunate that R9 was in the position there to pick up the kill before he could finish Dark off.
So much of it was on BLK. I mean, 4 of the kills in that round came at range. That's what I was trying to say. You had the Azami early on, then 3 kills coming out from BLK. Both just doing absolute work onto normally the attackers are the ones who are rolling around with the bigger scopes, but they've really kind of put that one to rest and showed that they can still tango with the very best, even at long range. Atlas really just being the cherry on top of what was a very convincing round from the side of Knights. Now, Fury going into round 2, have got to attack in towards Karaoke and T. Lovely T-Tours moment here, flying off and around Skyscraper. It's a beautiful map, Tim. I do love it.
I like, yeah, I do. I like Skyscraper. I like the theming. I like the decoration.
I hate to think how much it costs to build something like that on top of a skyscraper, though.
It's not going to be cheap, is it?
No. Jesus.
Imagine getting the contractors in
this
that.
economy as well.
Oof. I wouldn't like to hear the build myself. We're going to have the Mute there just taking a pot shot out of that window. Can often get a little bit of joy there. BG Man just signalling that they need to clear a Mute jammer from underneath. And they're going to have nades in hand, so Dark will be able to do that from below.
Call me cynic.
I know.
Someone's got to get below either way and try and deal with it. But again, just call me... Honestly, this is so predictable. Like, call me a cynic, but we were seeing this happening, and I'm not trying to say we're perfect. Other regions do it as well. But I think about some of the games that I've seen happening in the Europe League, for example. You always have someone spawn on that side of the map with the thermite and just get ready below. Whether it's a Zofia or an Iana with nades, you can get into a good angle from downstairs, like where Dark is now, to remove it. As I believe he has. I want to say, please tell me he's got away with that. Okay, he has. Thank God for that. That sound stopped and I was scared for a second. But that sort of thing is so easy to do, but instead they've wasted an extra 30 seconds trying to rotate the Iana over. She's then died on the rappel trying to get down to go and help out. Knights have just read it like an absolute book, and really, it all comes at the back of Fury's mispreparation and, being frank, an incorrect approach to the start of a round on Skyscraper.
Yeah, and it's just like you say, it's just such a standard task. Like you know, you always have to clear things off there from that window. Like you should be able to do it with your eyes closed, pretty much. So yeah, definitely a big loss for them. They do get the job done eventually, but they've wasted a lot of time and manpower in doing so. So 1 minute 15 left on the clock. We're going to have a kill picked up onto BG Man as well. Dark trying to challenge. Knows that the Solus is there. Still Tuku's fighting. Still hasn't been taken down. Atlas finds R9. This is all going in the direction of Knights. It could well end up being a flawless round as Lycolis moves up those black stairs, and flawless it will be as Atlas finds that final kill. Shuttle puts him down, and that's going to be Knights 2-0.
Not really looking too rattled so far, are they? Being on the other side, Fury have really got to find a way into this game, but for Knights, a wonderful start, full of confidence, taking these long-range gunfights, being willing to get aggressive when the time calls it. Yeah, we saw Tom at the very start of that previous round with the jump out, for example, still playing with the same sort of attack that we saw on Border, but on the other side of things, just not seeing the same put-together attacks that maybe we were used to. And what it makes me nervous about is when it's your map pick, really, you should come in and be like the experts of attacking that map. You've made that map pick. You've got something in the tank, some ideas ready, some strats, some approaches. But it does feel a little bit put together at the minute by Fury. Need to see a little bit more conviction, a bit more planning going into these rounds.
I was just going to basically say the same thing. Has anybody told Knights that this isn't their map pick? Because right now they're coming in and looking like completely in charge here. They've got all the answers. They are on defense. We would expect the defenders, you know, to do pretty well on Skyscraper. It's not a horrible map for the defenders. So we're going to see them go to their third choice site. It's going to be down in Kitchen and Barbecue. So it's going to be very much the same as the last round, really, with that extra step for the attackers. Given that Fury didn't even manage to get themselves onto site last time, you got to say, if they've got extra work to do, it's not going to be any easier for them.
castle on side. I always talk about it. Tim always loves seeing a castle. Always makes things exciting. Always opens up different avenues for defenders to rotate through and different angles for attackers to need to try and clear away. So I'll keep an eye on that throughout the round and see exactly what it is that Atlas and the boys have been going for with the pick of that castle. Same spot being contested, though. They did have a push coming in from this shrine balcony last time round. Here, though, they've doubled down with a shield to really help lock it down and reinforce it. It's BG Man and Dart trying to work their way through. It doesn't matter what you bring unless there are frag grenades on side. You ain't removing that shield, and guess what, Tim? There are no frag grenades in back pocket for anyone. Tell you what, Tuku almost losing his life.
Yeah, BG Man just spotting a couple of yellow pixels through the wall, I think, and taking a few pot shots, but Tuku just managing to escape, gets himself behind the safety of that shield. A lot of utility raining in to try and deal with Black Stairs at the minute, but Tuku still hasn't really been cleared out here, playing in behind the smokes again. BG Man sees him, they know he's there, but he's just going to keep holding himself inside of Karaoke for the time being. He's going to take another peek if given the opportunity.
If he can get across quickly enough, he can get into a really good spot to do some work. And look, he's all by himself up here as well. Nearly half the round is gone. And elsewhere, Knights are just picking up kills and disrupting things all over the shop, it feels like, as well. They're still being pushed outside here, this top side of Shrine Balcony. They get rid of Tuku, but they're still being held back, Tim.
This is the thing, like, it just seems Fury are throwing Selma charges onto meeting wall. They know that Tuku's in there. They've been battling with him for a minute. Obviously, he's going to shoot him off the wall. So you've just got to ask those questions, really. Crit J doing a little bit of damage to the leg of one there, but a couple of kills raining. It's still going to be Knights with the advantage. 3 versus 2, 3 versus 1. As Tom manages to find himself a double, it's all up to Crit J. He's on the line. He's moving across that top floor, still shut down by Tom, who manages to find himself a triple. And that's going to be another round for Knights.
Make it look easy, aren't they? I mean, look, now Tuku eventually got finished off, but he wasted so much time and resource. 2 smokes came out with the 3 flashes coming in before that. You had the ace Selmas coming out from the window, and they just could not seem to make him move. And it was only once we had 1 minute and 20 left on the clock, bearing in mind that the top floor wasn't the site, that things actually started to change. And I said this coming into the series, it's been my criticism of Fury. I'd say the same about Talon earlier on today too. The pace of the attacks, the amount of time figuring out exactly what to do. It's like the players know, oh, I start the round on Shrine Balcony. From there, they're not really sure what to do when they come against an obstacle they're not 100% sure of how to deal with, though. And Siege isn't like, you know, chess. There aren't predefined square blocks that you have to move pieces into, and they can only move a certain way. Teams will always bring new things each round, and it just feels that the adaptability maybe isn't quite there to deal with some of these more intricate setups and strategies that we see coming out of the defensive side.
Yeah, you really would have expected Fury to have, you know, more game plans essentially on a map that they have chosen to come to, but certainly not working out for them so far. We may see in the second half that big switch of sides, but at the minute, Knights are getting themselves such an advantage that Fury are going to find themselves in a position where they're basically fighting to get themselves to overtime.
These are really small things as well, but like Cole's just losing his drone there for free. You know there is a Solus on this team, 100%. It's why so many other teams leave all their drones outside the building and say, look, we aren't getting any information, just forget about it. And it just feels like small things like that. It doesn't feel like a big deal losing a single drone, but careless things like that do rack up across a round or even across a whole game.
Tuku desperately wanting to get out of that door. I think he's just waiting for his opportunity.
This time
bringing along the Thatcher, so they don't have to mess about playing into those windows, exposing themselves to those peaks potentially, and it does get the job done for them. They're going to get that wall open. Tuku maybe has just lost his moment there. He's been waiting to get out of that door potentially, waiting for a bit of information, but the opportunity's not really going to present itself now.
He can still do some work if he wants to push his way back up the house stairs, for example, onto those players that are rotating around, maybe to push in through terrace. So don't think that's the end of Tom. You'll see him working some more magic throughout this round. You've also got BLK here sat around Shrine with on the Azami, just Q barring the hell out of everything in a good spot to be able to keep the attackers away from getting onto that side of the map. But you can see really the spread from Fury is to try and get control of this Karaoke T side first. Both walls opened up. It's taken them 75 seconds, but they have done what they needed to. VIP wall is open, and now they're inside a geisha as well. Yeah,
you feel like it's a little bit better from Fury. They've started to get themselves established towards inside the map. They're not quite there just yet, but they can start working on getting some map control. They haven't lost anybody yet, which has been something that's plagued them for the first couple of rounds, but they now have an opportunity to start trying to put these defenders in some difficult positions. They still have to play past this Azami into Dragon, though, just keeping hold of the top of Shrine at the minute. Tom holding a real long angle on the Kaid there, just waiting for that opportunity. Here it comes, almost picks up his man.
I think a nade maybe going to come flying through as well. For a second, I thought CritJ might try and cook one, but nope. Keeping himself safe, and now you've got BLK up nice and close.
I don't think they know about him.
Just this layered defense constantly coming on is just causing such a headache for the attacking side, who again don't feel 100% confident with dealing with what's been thrown at them. They're pushing aggressively, they find one. It's a second I9 taking charge of the round on the march on forward, but here comes Tuku with Tom below with a C4. They're back on site, but Tim, they've got some tools to work with here. 2 C4s and a couple of impacts.
Yeah, they're just going to work to play for that denial underneath. That's not going to make life any easier for them, though. That is sight given over now. There's an opportunity for Fury to get that plant down, but they're just going to try and play off this information. The Solus is going to feed it into the Cade. He can use the Nitro. They've got the impact nades as well, but they need to find where that diffuser goes down. When it does, the Nitro has been pulled early. They're just going to have to wait. They don't get the kill that they would have been looking for. They're just concerned about this Solus. They don't want to put the diffuser down with them underneath.
Got to get themselves into a high spot, and they're not doing that at all. They're forces the bait out, and they chase him down as well. Tuku's gone. Tom's all alone. Can he get anything? Goes for the man, but I9's there. A massive 3K in the round for him. Secures Fury that round, and my God, did they sorely need it, Tim.
Yeah, it was desperate from them, really. 4-0 down would have been an absolute nightmare start. They've just shown us something a little bit different there. I think one of the key things was not losing players in the first half of the round. They were able then to get in and really fight on level terms with Knights in towards the site. I like how they gained the control. They still had those moments. They didn't have any idea that BLK was playing in Dragon, I don't think. They were so fixated on Tom, he was able to just move around. You actually see the trade coming in there. It was I9 who played decisively. So it was good adaptation, it was good reaction to BLK getting the opener, but they still let him have that first kill because they were so fixated on Tom playing at the long range on the Kaid. But they got the job done. Fury get themselves around. Honestly, I feel like they need another 2 on the attack here.
I commented on 9-9 missing some really critical shots back on the first map as well there, but really I think I don't want to say single-handedly because it's not fair to his team, but at the end of that round, he was the one in the prime position to guarantee that his team didn't lose that round. If he loses that firefight or is looking the wrong way or misses a shot, there is a very fair chance that Tom just gets to spray through onto the man who's planting inside of Office, and that is it, round done and dusted, 4-0 Knights. It's a big round from him, also taking charge around Shrine, getting 2 easy kills, made it a 3K for himself in the round. So pat yourself on the back, my son. You've given your team a round that is very sorely needed, as said. Round 5 we go, 2 left on the attacking half for the side of Fury.
20 seconds in then, just getting themselves up to the line of the building. Again, Fury taking care there, not wanting to lose anybody. They know that Knights have been aggressive so far with peaks and jump outs, managing to get Geisha wall open nice and quickly. So that's going to potentially impact on anybody looking to play inside of there. It's also then going to potentially apply a little bit of pressure to Drum. I don't know if that wall is open or not, but of course it opens up that long angle all the way through. So again, something that they need to be cautious of.
Oh, well, I thought we opened.
It's already been Kiba barricade.
I thought we opened this. It's like, well, now it's closed again. Quite literally like Azami cinematic, in fact. Wall gets blown open, she closed it back up. Easy as pie. Now, otherwise, Knights so far looking rather undisturbed. Still looking like they can move around quite freely as Fury try and get themselves set up into key positions to make that march on forwards. A lot of drone work still coming on in, and really they've done well, I think, to keep 9 drones alive in this round. You've seen there the difference of no Solus and what it's doing for the team's information game.
Gonna have Dark going in there now, looking to move up Black Stairs. Surely they know that he's coming. Not a clue. Like always manages to get one. Dark finds Tom looking for a second. Tuku shuts down like always in a late trade. And we're in a 3 versus 3 somehow. An absolute bloodbath in the middle of the round there. And it's all just the dust settling now as Knights, they've locked themselves into their angles. They're not wanting to overextend or take on any other peaks here. They know that they don't want to lose any more manpower. And it's up to Fury to step back, foot off the gas, and just try and send the drones in, the Iana clones, and just try and get what information they can. Shots will land onto the smoke of Atlas, but the Toxic Babe is successfully deployed.
A number of tracks around, man. I mean, Dart was a real Hail Mary player there. They know that he's sat inside a goal, but they need the wrong spot. They go too shallow, and they aren't going to find their man. This is a golden opportunity now for Knights to take this one away. There's no more frags on side. There's only 2 left for the attackers, and they are hidden well behind those hard walls. No ability to spray through. CritJ's got to work some magic here coming up main stairs.
I feel like that missed nade onto gold bars isn't really forgivable. You should know exactly where that spot is. CritJ is just going to be working from drum stairs, trying to find anybody he can. He knows there's one inside of there. He has to try and push forward. Potentially gets one close. Can he find a second? 2 versus 2. 20 seconds.
Just the one more to go in from Drum as well. That's really the real challenge. They don't know where the Warden is. They find him out. It's the one left standing as well. They know that he was on Drum and they're holding the angle. Yes, they are. Almost finds his shot, but the rounding comes out. I9 again with the closing kill to give Fury their second round of Skyscraper. Things have transformed since the end of round 3, Tim, and it's I9.
Fury don't like to do things easily, do they? I thought they'd lost that round, but they were able to get it done in the final 20 seconds. For me, that missed nade on gold bars, I was like, surely that's the moment that you've just kissed goodbye to that one. Like I say, maybe they didn't think he was in that spot. Maybe they thought that he got aggressive and moved out. They were playing off a ping. I want to be fair to them. I think there was a ping for that Warden's position. And sometimes if you're pinging at distance from the drones, it can be a little bit difficult just to get that depth quite precise. But if the information was he's in gold bars, then you should really know where that spot is from underneath, because it's just such a common spot. But either way, they get the job done. As you say, I9 really stepping up. You can see the passion, the hype, the energy is there for him, and he's going to be a difficult one to shut down. If Fury can get another round here and 3-3 at the half, it's an absolute steal for them, Des, and they might just be back on for winning this 2-0.
So like I've said a couple of times, I9's been the player for me these last couple of rounds that has got Fury on the board, and he'll be sleeping easy tonight if he gets his team through to tomorrow, otherwise quite miserably that they'll have been knocked out and be going home. Because that's that reminder once again, whoever loses this series is done. Their major is over in just 1 day. Free drone, thank you very much, how kind of you. But yes, lose this game, you're out, you're done. The other team goes through to tomorrow to play against the loser of G2 versus DZ, which will be, I want to say it's the 3rd game of the day, maybe the 2nd, something like that.
I'm not sure.
Second, I think our order is for that.
I'm not sure if Fresh has got every site to be played on his bingo card again. I know that he had it last time. I'm sure he's going to be very happy if he does, because Master.
Should I do a quick check actually?
Have a little quick check, because I remember last time Master on Skyscraper was.
Do some basic maths, are we, medics? What's going on there?
Master on Skyscraper was the site last time. I'm pretty sure that was the difficult one to get. It was the one that we were all waiting for, and we're actually seeing it here and now. So nice and early, 3 versus 3, as we've got a couple of kills coming in to kick things off. A little bit of vertical play coming in from Tommy. Sees the man below but can't find him. BG Man does manage to find Tuku. Advantage Fury. They could well come away with an even half. They've got diffuser in hand, but how about that? Beautiful headshot as they try to push themselves a little bit deeper into sight, but Jerry's going to have it all to do. He's 1 versus 2 as BG Man takes down Tom. Is there an opportunity for I9 to get this diffuser down?
He doesn't have every site applied, by the way. But I9's in and making an impression once again. Last time around it was killing, this time around it's planting. Garadair's with it all to do, and he's staring at a blitz. Not going to be a nice spot to be in. BG Man is getting himself upstairs as well, which makes this even worse with the spray from the SMG coming on through. They know exactly what's going on, and I9 is the one tucked in behind the bomb chassis as Garadair goes down the long route. Almost manages to find one for himself, I think, there for a second. In fact, no, it was BG Man going down, at least a tickle. They've got that vertical control. He knows this one looks pretty done and dusted, Tim.
Yeah, I think so. He's just ranging around now, trying to see what he can find. He's had a good couple of spray downs here. Might get his man, but no, switching to the shotgun will not get it done. BG Man on the Zofia picks up the final kill top floor, and Fury with a little bit of a steal, a little bit of a snatch and grab. Des have come away after losing the first 3 rounds with a 3-3 split half, and now they move on to defense of their own map. Fury have got their destiny in their hands.
I feel Tim's really gone for it, but Fresh has really gone for it with the Frost Nerf costs round bingo item.
It's quite specific, isn't it?
Yeah, what else do I like? Can trap kill? I feel like that can happen.
We've already had one.
Well, there you go. He needs to get it ticked off his bingo, doesn't he?
We had one earlier. I can't remember who it was. I apologise, Fresh, because I'm not going to be able to guide you to it. I think it was in the first map of this. It's definitely one that I've cast, I will say that. So it was either the game that I did with Parker, or it was in the first map of this game. But I think it was the first map of this game on Border, if you double check back, but I'm pretty sure that we've had one. He's probably already got it.
He's probably got it sorted.
He's probably just not updated.
There are some things that we have real power over here as well, like Dynasty being mentioned is one.
Does that count?
Not me saying Dynasty. I don't think so. We have to really have a conversation about Dynasty. That's a lot of power.
We'll have to wait until G2 are playing.
See, the one that I love, and I know I can definitely do at some point, is Talent Swears on broadcast.
5 seconds to go.
I'm pretty sure you already have.
I'm pretty sure I've already done that one.
I'm pretty sure you already have.
It's got to be meaningful, though, I feel. A meaningful swear. Not just saying crap or shit or the other dumb stuff that I say.
You've just done it now.
No, that's not a real swear.
Is it not?
No. got to be like an F-bomb. It's got to be specific enough, I think, to really say what do you mean by swear.
Okay. Heading into round 7 then,
right
second
now. I've got to
half.
sort this out.
Second half, Fury move on to the defense. They've got themselves the 3-3 half. A fantastic comeback, to be fair, getting round 4, 5, and 6 in the bag after being pretty beaten up by Knights in the first 3. They managed to lock out some good attacks, and you feel like carrying that confidence through into their own defenses should give them a real opportunity here. But we see this so often. Team on their own map get onto the favoured side, and for whatever reason, it just doesn't really happen for them. So Knights, I want to see that aggression again. That's when they were good on the attack on border, was when they got in there, got into sight, took some map control, got into some gunfights, and really got up in the face of Fury. I want to see a bit more of that from Knights. Don't play this stalled out game. When you got into the final minute previously, it wasn't a good look on you. You didn't get the rounds won. So let's get in there. Let's get the job done, Knights.
Momentum was that keyword that we used at the time, right? It was really trying to build some forward pace once you got the opening kill. My thing that I remarked on back there, and actually where I thought we might see Knights do well in the first half, and we did for a short amount of time, was the size of Skyscraper really can upset the apple cart and make it harder to, as the attackers at least, have full coverage of the map. Here we're on the attacking side for Knights, though. I just fear that even if you manage to get yourself an entry, there's still so much map to work through that you may well find with it also being Fury's map pick, they feel incredibly comfortable, and it's not going to be anywhere near as easy as it was back on border, which generally is quite a gunfight-heavy map anyway.
Yash here, BLK just looking to use that breach that's been opened up. See if he can find an angle through onto Dark on the Legion. He's just going to keep himself hidden away behind that door frame for the time being. I9, who else? He picks up his man, and that gives us an advantage here. 5 versus 4. Fury looking good as Dark manages to take out BLK. Tuku finds I9 in a late trade. 4 versus 3. 45 seconds left to go, and you just feel like Knights, they're grasping here, Des. They've not really got themselves established. How do they execute from here? How do they think about putting the diffuser down? They just don't have the control that they need.
I mean, the madness here I'll talk about in a second once this round possibly concludes. It's like Olus and Dart, they double team up to bring down 2. Atlas, the only one left standing. And I'll take the time to talk about it now. When it was still a 5 versus 5, there were only 3 drones left alive for Knights. Only one of those was out on the field. Everything else just came down to blind 1v1s, and you saw the result of that in a couple of those gunfights. They were just running in blind, not sure if there were frost mats waiting for them. Everything just stung them. They lost out on gunfights. And so for me, if you're using, nearly all of your drones to start out a round, you've got to get something for them. You've still got players outside the building. You've got no gunfights being taken. There's not even a Solus on the other side to use as an excuse. They're just out of information and having to play very blind. So great work by Fury to get rid of all of those drones. But for Knights, one, either be more conservative with the drones, or 2,
we are out of the tack time out into the prep phase of round 8. Fury looking very good on their first defensive round, kind of the expectation really, given that it is their map choice. They're going to head over to the other top side, which is going to be the office side. Knights, for me, weren't really anywhere near on that last round, so something good is going to have to have been said in that tactical timeout. They lost themselves a couple of men early in the round, and then, like I said, they were nowhere near a position to execute. They were nowhere near a position to really take any map control. So what do I want to see from Knights this time around? I want to see them get themselves established inside of the map. I want to see them maybe get an entry kill. I want to see them have a platform to build from.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Crit, what are you doing, buddy? I mean, it's not normally a Solus role to be doing what Vigil would normally do, but I guess you can work it that way if you want to. No one's spawning on that side of the map, I don't think, so he may be out there a while. You just see that blue highlight in the distance. It's just him all the way out there on his one, just like, yeah, I'm sure someone will come.
No. Tiny, it looks like he's off on chalet or something.
Enjoying a little ski while the rest of his team win the game. Yep, sound.
Right, here we go then. BLK is going to be working his way in towards storage there, potentially. Just going to open that up for the time being. We've just got all of Knights sort of poised, ready to go. I'm just wondering if there's going to be a bit of an aggressive push, all working together here, looking to clear out underneath, but they're not going to find anybody, Des. There's nobody down there.
Droned it.
There's nobody down there at the minute. They can go in and they can take control. They can start to work vertically from underneath. Maybe use some of those nades. They've got 4 in hand with BLK and Tuku. But they were kind of going in there like they expected a little bit of a fight, but there was nothing to be seen.
They had drones in there as well, so they knew about this. I really thought either it was going to be a charge for Nago skyward, or they would run in expecting to find someone, but Drones have cleared it out, and the nades didn't get used or brought out straight away, so I can only assume not. Maybe we'll start seeing them sent skyward soon as you've got the Sledge and the Nook on side. 4 nades to play behind. Looks like BLK starting to cook one right now. Actually not going to find his man. A little bit blind inside the sights itself. Tom Reard's got to be guiding these that little bit better.
That's it. There's nobody inside. Essentially, they're going to lose the drone as well. So, you know, they've used 2 of the 4 nades, and they've not even tickled anybody's toes, to be honest with you, Des. They've found absolutely nothing from underneath. So, yeah, they've got to be, whilst they're going in and taking that ground and using those nades, you know, I don't want to be critical of that. They've done a good job of doing that. But 2 minutes have gone, and they've not really achieved anything with it. Dark manages to get a beautiful kill onto Tuku there. They've even kept the wall open. VIP wall is still closed, sorry. Dark gets another onto BLK. Dark's doing everything right now.
The man's just a machine. He just knows what to do and when, and he seems to be spinning on a dime, doing absolutely everything in this round. They also found out the finish there. Not quite, no. It's crit and I9. I9 into a second as well. A flawless round for Fury. They are flying, Tim, and I'm really starting to get nervous for Knights, even after attack timeout. They can't find their way back in.
And honestly, after the tack timeout, it's got worse. You know, the reality is it wasn't a flawless round before the tack timeout. It was afterwards. Dark, to be fair, has made their life a misery in that round. Not only has he kept VIP wall closed, he's got 2 kills. He's, you know, eaten up a nade as well. He's made it so difficult for them. No wonder we're going to see him on the replay here. Look at his footwork. Absolutely beautiful. Gets away from that as well. Clean shots across the head. Just really good stuff from Dark. But yeah, for me, like I said, I don't want to be too critical of Knights. They had a game plan. They knew what they wanted to do. They got in underneath. They were confident in doing so. They had the nades in hand. But the problem is, you can have all the confidence in the world. You can have the plan. But if there's nobody there, you're not going to find anything. You know, they just didn't have the information, again, to play behind. They used those nades from underneath. They were 2 minutes into the round before they started using those vertical nades. You know, if that's your plan and you've drawn out underneath, really, you should be throwing them skyward at the minute mark. If you got in there, got the map, right, start getting the nades going so you've got time to do more in the round. So just a little bit slow from Knights.
I'm just loving the passion coming out of I9 that we saw in those replays.
He's on the edge, he's loving it.
I'm not going home tonight, yeah!
Imagine him and Canadian on the same team.
Oh, mate. Oh. I was already saying I'm looking forward to, like, Alamau and Troy, for example. Just imagine getting the 5 loudest, rowdiest mother buggers that you can think of and throwing them all on a squad. It would be hilarious.
Certainly would. I'm going to have Dark then. He's got them frost mats down. So again, Fury just looking to slow things down from Knights. They've recognised, obviously, that it's gone well previously. You know, so they're bringing along the Legion, they're bringing along the Frost, they're bringing along the Ella. They're doing everything they can to just create those situations whereby it's going to slow them down by 10 seconds here and there.
Right, onwards we march. Again, we've seen this spot quite a lot. The Shrine Dance coming in, really. It was last time it was Fury on the attacking side that we were looking at for this. This time around, it's obviously Knights trying to do just that with the Ossa and the charge. Out comes the first stim from BLK as well. Nade's already been flying, but nothing found on the other side. Again, I'm still keeping a close eye on things like the drone count here. They've got 7 alive, so it's not a concern at the moment. But I imagine you might find that whittled down over the next 45 seconds as they try and find an angle in towards this Fury setup.
This will be fun.
And I'm just holding onto those stairs. I think he's actually... Oh, no, I was going to say I thought the goo mine had been... Sorry, not the goo mine, the Ella mine, the Gersmot mine. I thought had been taken out above the door by the nade. Maybe it was, and maybe he had one in pocket to play back out. He's getting aggro. No,
not like this.
Contend with the Ossa shield. I just feel like Knights could have been to get the kill, but I was just going to say maybe more aggressive there. They know R9's right up there at the door. Get in and get the kill. You know, start to create that space. They're going to eat up the Gersmot mine. Just replace that Talon shield at the top of the black stairs there. And this is a good platform now for Knights to build from. 4 versus 4 at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say, right? If probably should have expected there was an Ossa there. You would have heard that shield being deployed, right? If there wasn't an Ossa there, yeah, you get a freebie. Everyone walks away a winner, except for the side of Knights. But the fact that he's gone face first into an Ossa and then paid the price for it, bit of a stinger. This is a great spot to be in, by the way. We've seen teams use Monty alongside Smokes here to make a play work in this sort of position. You can do a similar thing if you want to with the Ossa, like they've already done to secure that top floor entirely. He can now sit at the top of there behind that shield and just overwatch everything and stop verticals being played. The rest of the team can now actually look at the site itself, but you've got to be aware on the other side of any impacts. There are none available, but there is a C4, so there's still the ability to disrupt this top floor hold. But Tim, only 30 seconds to go, and it feels that so far, Knights haven't really done enough.
QuickJ's got a great long angle here from up above that he can potentially prevent anybody moving through that breach, but he's just sort of dancing left and right to try and make sure he catches anybody, but time is going to be a factor once again. 10 seconds left to go. They're going to have to rush in, but a beautiful kill on the reverse angle. That could be a key though. 2 versus 3, 1 versus 2. The kills just raining everywhere. Diffuser is in hand. There is an opportunity to put it down. 1 kill needs to be found by Locolis, but I don't think he's going to have the opportunity. He tries to get the nitro, finds the headshot. Can he find the second? He knows where the man is. He's thinking about that nitro. Cannot find his shots.
What is going on?
Trying.
No, he got him like Colis. What a beast! What a beast! The Knights can't buy around right now.
Knights have got to feel hard done to there. They managed to get in and get the diffuser down, but like always says, not today. Even after a couple of missed shots, he's still able to find the nitro, and that is a great round for Fury to take. If you were going to break the spirit of another team, you've got to imagine that that would have been the moment to do it.
I'm so happy it's like Olis as well. We've seen others have great moments today and stand up and be heard. You know, Critters we've seen going nuts, I9's having an amazing map, BG with a big 3K at the end of the previous map. But Lycolis, for those who didn't know, was basically the coach for this team for the longest time. Only over the last 8 to 9 weeks have they actually had a coach on the team. Prior to that, it was all Lycolis, you know, coaching the team, trying to focus on leading himself, doing strats, all that other kind of good stuff. And to now see him get a chance to shine, and obviously like he kind of said in an interview with CGG, I think it was, the ability to work on himself and improve himself and get a play like that, that's going to feel so good.
Seen some of the highlights from that round, but it is all down to that last 20 seconds from Lycolis. Gets his first man, and then out goes the Nitro. BLK on a fraction of health. It didn't even really need to be that close to him. Just anywhere in the vicinity would do the job, and do the job. Indeed, I9 going absolutely wild. The whole team absolutely loving it there. They know how much this means. It gets them into day 2. Yes, their next match will be another elimination match. It's not going to be easy for them, but at least they only have to play 1 match. They could look at it that way. They've had to play a best of 1 and a best of 3 today, so it will only be a best of 3 tomorrow.
Well, they've got to get through this last round first. Round 10 coming right up. Knights, no ability to take attack time out. They took it earlier on. It feels now like after a few rounds have gone against them. Again, it was what? They were in such a good position back in that first half. They've now lost 6 rounds on the bounce. Fury seemingly unstoppable even in the clutch situations. If there's a site that you can win, it feels like this might be the one, but I'm still nervous for them.
Attackers recovered the bomb.
Yeah, Fury just trying to take us on a complete tour here. I think, you know, just trying to really show a little bit of dominance on Skyscraper, send a bit of a message. I9 just playing aggressively on that window now. This is the problem for Knights. Fury have got 3 rounds in hand. No, they're not going to want to throw those away, but it will give them that feeling. You've been there yourself. You think, we've got 3 rounds. Yeah, I can have a little look out of this window. Yeah, I can have a little bit of a jump out. Yeah, I'll give that a try. Why not? And you just feel a little bit more freedom from it. I9 might well find himself dead if he's not careful here. Nade comes in, won't find him. He really is cornered though. BG Man manages to find 1, 5 versus 4. I9, it was only a matter of time. Surely keeps himself alive in the corner. Surely BG Man can't save him, can he?
I mean, at least prolonged his life, but now BG Man's hit the deck as well. So now losing out of these longer range fights impacts himself like Olis after that heroic play in the previous round. It's basically a 3 versus 3 here with those 2 currently on their backsides and likely not getting res anytime soon.
BLK is going to offer the juice from the nanobots there, but as they try to push forward, Lycolis does the job again. 2v2, BG Man down, as you say, 1v1 as Dark manages to find it. Does he take the opportunity? I don't know where 2Q is. He's not going to be able to as he finishes off the kill. It's all up to this final gunfight.
The pings are coming on through as well. They've got that bulletproof cam, and 2Q wins out the 1v2. A brief reprise here, 2 more rounds to go for Knight to send it into overtime. Imagine if that is the starting point of a reverse sweep, Tim, and they go on to win map 3.
I was just going to say exactly the same. Is that site choice going to come back to haunt Fury? You know, look how high energy they were 3 minutes ago, and now it's just that little bit lower. They've gone to Master, and I think, yeah, you've got your 2 primary sites to go to. Why didn't you just go to one of them?
Yeah, because they won barbecue, right?
Yeah, why give yourself that opportunity to have Knights feel like they're getting back into it? Just go back to Karaoke Tea and get the job done. Just seal the deal. You know, don't give Knights that chance to have a sniff of getting back into this.
It's interesting how a single hacked bulletproof cam was the big changer of that round, because it forced, as we saw, I9 to move instead up in towards wardrobe, out of bedroom itself. BG Man then got down as a result of trying to help him. Really 2 players lost there off the back of a single cam being hacked.
You see the efforts from Tuku at the end there. We had a little ring around the roses just to try and see who gets that final peak, but Tuku just pinpoint accurate onto the head to pick up his man and take us into round 11. Knights need one more to take us the distance.
The Blitz is back.
The Blitz is back indeed. It's always a little bit of a gamble, especially when we're moving over to Karaoke Tea. Fury, we would expect to be a slightly different beast on this site. We've seen them win it already. It's their primary site choice. They're now trying to get it locked down. They've got to hope, though, that the momentum hasn't been broken.
Alrighty, well, it's all really eyes on the Blitz. It's not like it's an instant round winner, but it's normally when the team find an opening that you have the Blitz charging on through and picking off isolated individual players. My only concern really is that, like in the previous round there, you saw most members of Fury playing in relatively close proximity to one another so they could support them in case a firefight did kick off. Now, obviously Knight still walked away the winner. I'm just not too sure how many chances you're going to find for Garadeus to find a 1 versus 1, run someone down without being shot in the back.
I9 getting aggressive on that black stairs door once again, takes himself a drawn out, and that's going to leave 7 on the board for Knights, so still no really excuse to not have that information ahead of them. It has been an issue for them so far, but here comes the Blitz. There's just the signal that there's barbed wire at the bottom of black stairs that could slow him down. That's going to be dealt with momentarily as he steps back to clear it, and now will continue that march up towards the top floor. By the looks of things, we're going to have the Ace just joining him as well there.
All right, so slowly does it. An EMP coming in towards the top of black. Look, I think looking to get the wall opened up here, but a shield being redeployed by BG Man. I always love when teams relocate like utility as they realize where an attack is coming from. Great nade coming in from below here. Might be our first vertical nade kill, but no, just a little bit over or undercooked. Bounces off the wall, doesn't do full damage to Lycolis. He stays alive.
Lycolis is so important in a couple of these rounds, certainly won't want to be losing him. BLK sends the nade in, this army of I9 just manages to escape, but look at the aggression straight back onto the stairs. He wants to be there, ready to take that fight.
Well, they know there's only so many nades that they can toss at them here, and sure enough, nades are only down to 1 in number for the side of the attackers. BLK onto I9, who was already down to about 20 HP, was on the main stairs. It's Crit to get one back, though, traded out immediately. Love that kind of bit of team play. In comes the Blitz as well, charging in, flashed out. Tuku behind him, gets a plant down at the back of it, and now Diffuser's going down. March on 4s, Tuku into yet another. It's all down to Crit, finds 1. It's got to be an ace and everything. He manages to find 4, but through the wall, Atlas gets his man. Could have been one hell of a highlight reel for Crit, but Knights stay in. One more round, Tim, and we're going to overtime.
Crit just got caught in the reload there, and you just think there's an opportunity for him to ace that to close it out. But I come back to that site choice that we discussed. They went to Master to try and finish it off. They've now lost Karaoke. Knights have got themselves a bit of momentum. They could potentially push this to the distance, and all of a sudden Fury are feeling like, hey, it was 6-3, it's now 6-5. What have we done here? You know, I just feel like getting straight onto those primary sites might have been a better choice for them, but we will see how round 12 goes. Knights looking pretty good after that one. It worked. Push the Blitz direct into sight, bully the Warden out of there, and try to get that diffuser down. It was close. It was close, but Atlas, right place, right time, gets it finished.
And the response out of Fury is full lockdown. Look at this comp coming out with the Mirror, the Goyo, the Mute, the Fenrir, everything to screens. We are staying on site. We are playing safe, and we are really looking to deny and disrupt you as you come marching on forward. A couple of C4s in back pocket as Army to make this defense at least a little bit more dynamic. So maybe the KB on the other side, not really one of the go-to operators for this kind of attacking lineup, but they don't know that at this point. Won't have gone too far, too deep in to try and figure out exactly what they're coming into. A pretty cut and dry comp coming out of Knights, looking pretty standard.
Yeah, exactly that. As you say, the The EMP's not really necessary because there's no electrification. They will be relying on the mute jammers potentially, but they should be reasonably easily dealt with when you've got the Thatcher on side. So the Dokkaebi really is there to deal with any roam as you would expect. But like you said, I don't think we're going to see too much of that play in this scenario yet. Pretty much everybody on site apart from I9 who's playing underneath.
Still, VIP going to be the starting point. Now, last time around we saw them open up this wall, then rotate over and get, I think it was Geisha wall they started there pushing through last time around. Curious to see if they go for another full map clear or if they just keep it pretty narrow and focused on towards this east side of the map.
Tuku just on the upside down rappel, trying to hold that long angle. Drone goes in. Knight's looking for that information once again. We've seen I9 do great work on this VIP wall once it's been opened previously, so he's just hoping for a little bit more of that. I think if they give themselves away with any sound too much, he will spring into action and try and find himself a kill. But for the time being, Shrine window is going to be claymored off. And I tell you what, Knights are moving pretty quickly here. There's a minute 10 into the round, and there's an awful lot getting opened up. There's a lot of utility being removed, and Fury, they are going to be holding on for a long time potentially.
There's a lot being opened up. My concern is again the comp coming out from the side of Fury. They've got so much stall coming in here. I mean, for example, this is one of the Goyo canisters burnt out. There is a second one waiting on the drum next to, well, not on the drum, but next to door inside of drum for them to pop out. So one's gone through. Do they know that this one's still there? I'm not 100% sure they do. Once you've got through that, you've got 2 C4s to deal with. You've got the Fenrir gadgets to deal with as well. There is a lot to disrupt them here, so they keep on taking, I don't want to say loads of time, but they have already taken a fair whack having to burn through these Goyo canisters. They're going to be forced to panic, I think, in the dying moments of the round.
Potentially. Dark is going to drop back. Look at that aggression. Manages to get back inside. Atlas taking an absolute ton of damage as well. Just wasn't ready for that jump out, I don't think. First kill comes in, though. It is going to be a BLK onto I9. That starts clearing out VIP. Dark is still in position to hold them back. He just misses his opportunity there behind the computer monitor, but is still in a position to fight.
In a spot to do damage. No one's coming in through the VIP wall, but I think that's what he was starting to get scared of. Dart finds one back, spins on a dime, can't find a second. It's BLK into the second of the round. What a game he's really starting to warm into here. Working their way out through house. That's full VIP control established. 2 players left on site, make it 3, sorry, as it's BG that gets one back. They've got the mirror window to play in behind here as well, I believe, at the same time. Still a lot of dancing to do, but only 15 seconds on the clock.
This could go absolutely either way, Des Tom. He's going to try to take out that barbed wire. Signals his presence. Nitro goes out, won't do any damage like always, leaves himself exposed. Can't find any kill. It's 1v1. It's BG Mondes. He gets it closed out with a shotgun blast at short range.